Sometimes, even the best athletes have really bad days. From missed goals to hilarious slip-ups, sports fails remind us that nobody's perfect, even on the big stage. In this video, we're counting down the top 5 sports fails that shocked everyone. Hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon. Let's jump right into the action. Number 5. Steven Gerrard's slip that broke millions of hearts. One small mistake can sometimes ruin everything. That's exactly what happened to Steven Gerrard, the legendary Liverpool captain. In April 2014, Liverpool were closer than ever to winning their first Premier League title since 1990. The team had been on fire that season. They had gone 16 games without losing and won 11 in a row. Fans were dreaming big. They could feel that this was finally their year. Gerrard was not just any player. He was the heart and soul of Liverpool. He had spent his entire career giving everything to the club. With only 3 matches left in the season, Liverpool were top of the league and 5 points ahead. They just needed to beat Chelsea at home, and their dream would be almost complete. But then came a moment that changed everything. Right before halftime, with the score at 0-0, Gerrard received a simple pass from a teammate near the halfway line. It should have been an easy touch, something he had done thousands of times. But this time, the ball slipped under his foot. Gerrard lost his balance and fell. While he was on the ground, Chelsea striker Demba Ba rushed past him, collected the ball, and scored. That goal broke Liverpool's momentum. Chelsea went on to win the match 2-0. Gerrard was already playing through a back injury that season, taking injections to manage the pain, but he had pushed himself to help his team. After that match, he sat in the back of his car crying, knowing that the title dream had vanished in seconds. Liverpool couldn't recover from that loss. Manchester City won the league instead, and Gerrard's slip became one of the most talked about moments in football history. Even years later, rival fans still sing about it. It's a sad reminder that one slip can change everything. Number 4. Jim Marshall's wrong way run. Next up is a moment so strange that people still can't believe it happened. Jim Marshall, a great player for the Minnesota Vikings, made a mistake that became one of the most unforgettable fails in American football history. Marshall had an amazing career, playing nearly 2 decades in the NFL. But despite all his success, people mostly remember him for running the wrong way. In a game against the San Francisco 49ers, Marshall picked up a fumble, something every defensive player hopes for. But instead of running toward the other team's end zone, he got confused. He sprinted 66 yards in the wrong direction and ended up in his end zone. That gave 2 points to the 49ers as a safety. The strangest part is that Marshall wasn't a rookie. He was an experienced veteran. His teammates and coaches screamed at him, trying to get his attention, but he didn't realize his mistake until it was too late. Even though the Vikings eventually won that game, Marshall's mistake became famous across the country. It reminded everyone that even the best athletes can make the biggest mistakes. One moment of confusion can turn into something you can never live down. Number 3. Chris Webber's timeout disaster. Sometimes, one quick decision can change history. Chris Webber found that out in the most painful way possible during the 1993 NCAA Basketball Championship. Webber was one of the top college players in the country and the leader of the Michigan Wolverines. His team had reached the final against North Carolina, and it was a close game. With just 11 seconds left, Michigan was down by 2 points, 73-71. They still had a chance to win, or at least tie the game. Webber had the ball. Everything depended on what he did next. But instead of going for a play or passing to a teammate, he called a timeout. That might sound smart, but there was one big problem. Michigan had no timeouts left. In college basketball, calling a timeout when you don't have one is a technical foul. That means the other team gets free throws and the ball. North Carolina scored from the technical foul and sealed the win. The final score was 77-71. Webber's mistake ended the game and shattered Michigan's championship hopes. It was a heartbreaking moment that fans and players would never forget. What should have been a glorious end to a great season turned into one of the most painful failures in college sports. Chris Webber's timeout became a symbol of how pressure can lead to devastating decisions. Number 2. The 2004 New York Yankees collapse. When people talk about sports collapses, the 2004 New York Yankees are often mentioned. That year, they were up against their biggest rivals, the Boston Red Sox, in the American League Championship Series. The winner would go on to the World Series. The Yankees had dominated baseball for decades, and they started this series just like that, winning the first 3 games in a best-of-7 series. At that point, no team in baseball history had ever come back from a 3-0 series deficit. It just didn't happen. The Yankees were so confident that many thought the series was already over. Red Sox fans were heartbroken, expecting yet another year of disappointment. After all, their team hadn't won a World Series since 1918, but then something crazy happened. The Red Sox refused to give up. They won Game 4 in extra innings. Then they won Game 5. Suddenly, it was 3-2. Game 6 came, and Boston won again. The impossible was happening. The series was tied. In Game 7, the Yankees completely fell apart. The Red Sox crushed them and became the first team in history to come back from a 3-0 deficit in a playoff series. The Red Sox didn't stop there. They went on to win the World Series, finally ending their 86-year championship drought. For Yankees fans, it was a nightmare. For Red Sox fans, it was the greatest moment of their lives. That Yankees collapse is still talked about today. It's a powerful reminder that no lead is ever safe and that sometimes history is made when you least expect it. Number 1. Bill Buckner's ground ball error. Bill Buckner's ground ball error in the 1986 World Series is one of the most painful moments for any sports fan. The Boston Red Sox were just 1 win away from their first championship since 1918. They were playing against the New York Mets and were leading the series 3-2. Game 6 had gone into extra innings. The Red Sox were so close they could almost feel the trophy. Then came the moment that changed everything. Mookie Wilson of the Mets hit a slow ground ball toward first base. It looked routine. Buckner, the Red Sox first baseman, just had to field it and end the game. But something went wrong. The ball rolled right between his legs and into the outfield. The Mets scored and won Game 6. Game 7 was even worse for Boston. The Mets won again and took the championship. The Red Sox, once again, had come painfully close only to watch it all fall apart. Buckner became the face of that failure. Despite being a great player with a long career, people only remember him for that one error. He even got death threats, and his family faced terrible treatment from angry fans. Years later, the Red Sox finally forgave him. In 2008, he got a standing ovation at Fenway Park. But the emotional scars had already been made. Buckner's error became a symbol of the curse of the Bambino, and how even the smallest mistake in a big moment can become part of history forever. Which one of these fails shocked you the most? Or maybe made you laugh a little too hard? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss more wild moments from the world of sports. Thanks for watching.